What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about City Skylines 2 being delayed yet again for console, this time indefinitely. So the release date was, well, originally, the last time originally, was going to be October. They've pulled that date, and now they just haven't given a date, after it. And this is just, I would say, continued to add on and on and on to City Skylines 2's biggest problem, which was probably it not being ready. In terms of the news, that's kind of it. I think there's disappointment out there. Someone like me, I generally play console. I think City Skylines is a game that's maybe more oriented towards PC, and that's totally cool. But I think about how good, because I did play the first game, okay, and I really did like it, and that game continued to evolve, and with modding and all sorts of stuff, that is like a premier city builder. And I think to a lot of people, the first game, and actually this is, you can actually see this in real time based off the numbers, City Skylines 1 is still being played. In fact, at times, City Skylines 1 is being played by more people than City Skylines 2. They basically fractured their own base, or people bought City Skylines 2 but then retreated back right to the first game. That game is so special, and that game was even special to me. And I think it also showed that you can do like a Sim City type thing, with EA and how they handle the Sims and how they handle a lot of things, right? That you can have an alternative that ultimately might be better. In fact, I do think City Skylines is one of the best city builders of all time, and you can just do that, right? So City Skylines 2, from the jump, it didn't seem prepared. This is a game that has mixed scores. There were times, I think a few months ago, where it was like overwhelmingly negative, or at least negative in general, in terms of the reviews. Right now, it's sitting at about a 50-50. I think 52% upvotes to, or positive reviews to 48% downvotes, or, so let's say negative reviews, right? Pretty bad. And I know in terms of the news here, right, this kind of just shows the whole thing, right? Because you have all that stuff going on, clear as day. The PC players are generally mad. They haven't gotten what they wanted yet, a year in. And then you have the console game, which, by the way, the console game was supposed to come out at the same time. I think this is the third time, because it was supposed to come out at the same time as the PC. It was supposed to be, a worldwide multi-platform launch. And then the console ones were delayed, and they did that very close, by the way, to when it was supposed to come out. I think it was supposed to be like the spring. They delayed it again. They gave the October month, and then they delayed it now a third time. So 2025, a year and a half after the game comes out, it'll come out potentially, right, to console, and we'll see. Like, it needs to be complete. I'm never a fan of early access or games that come out half complete in the first place, but specifically for a game like this isn't how it's supposed to go. I really don't think it's how it's supposed to go, and I think it's represented by, I don't think this game is going to go down in the history books as a success. I think the first game will, and they just, whatever they did wrong for this game. So, sucks to see. Honestly, for somebody like me, like, my PC can run it, and I still do want it from time to time, but I just saw, as like an onlooker, all of this stuff that was going wrong with the game, and it just doesn't feel like a completed product. So, like, and again, like, I am a guy who, I'll get early access every now and then, kind of rarely, like Hades 2 I got, but that game feels very complete. In fact, you could fool people, I think, into believing that game is already done. A City Skylines, I don't think you're fooling anybody. I think everybody knows that game is not complete. So for a game like that, my PC can do it. I kind of want it, but I also want to wait until it's finished. That might be a few years. By then, the console version, might be out. And remember, this is on, I think this was going to be on Game Pass, right? So, like, that was originally my goal, is, hey, if I can save an easy $60-$70, I'll get it through Xbox, I'll play it on the Series X, and I'll get it through Game Pass. It might not be the best way of playing it, but hey, you could take advantage of that subscription service. Well, here we are, still waiting. When it comes out in 15 years, is it still going to be on Game Pass? Maybe, maybe not. So, I don't know. It's disappointing. It really is, because I really liked the first game, and the first game just showed you can do this stuff. Like, it's why I'm always into those life sim games, and why I was disappointed by that Life by You being canceled. You need competition. You need competition in this field. And there's 100 city builders, but there's only a couple really big ones, right? Like, when you think of the Sim Cities and you think of, like, legit competition at the top, not at the bottom. And not to say the bottom is bad, but, like the AAA, the big, where everybody sees it. You need competition to push everybody. And I think that's what those life sim games hopefully can do for Sims, because Sims needs a kick in the butt, right, to really get back on track. I think the city builder needed the same thing, and City Skylines was able to do it. It was able to say, hey, if you're not pushing things, if you're not really trying, we're here to kick we're here to kick your behind, right? And then all of a sudden now the second game they say, no, you know what? We're falling into the trope that everybody does. We're going to release an unfinished product that's not as good as the first game. We rushed it. We didn't have all these features. Everything wrong with the genre at the top that we always complain about, they did it. Even though they were kind of the solution to it with the first game. And that, why am I spending so much time talking about it? That's the biggest disappointment. But it proved that it can do it and that those kind of things are important. And then just fell back into, the same thing that everybody else always does. So that's really disappointing. I mean, I don't even know. I'm not mad because I didn't buy it, right? So I don't feel like I wasted money, maybe like some other people. I feel disappointed in them because it's I feel like they disappointed fans. And the delaying of the console thing is just another part of it where it's you're really going to put out the console version that was supposed to come out, day one with the PC. You're really going to, at this point, have it come out a year and a half to 2 years after, or, the other half of it came out. That's pretty bad. That is pretty darn bad. And that, again, that shows rushing, that they rushed it or they just were not prepared or whatever the case might be, which I don't really understand because they had so long that they could have been working on it. And obviously they were working, I guess, on the first game, right? But I don't know, mismanagement, whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.